BFF Report. I'm your host, Mike B, aka Phony, and we have a two-parter lined up for you. The Secret World. There's a lot of stuff going on here, and I wanted to make sure I covered a little bit of everything. The game's already released, but there's still people that are on the fence. We know this because we haven't got any crazy announcements from Funcom saying we've passed 1 million mark. So we know that there's still a lot of people who are looking at the game, wondering if it's something they should jump into. And that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you guys make that informed decision whether or not you want to get involved by making just a ridiculous amount of video that I even had to split up into 2 separate BFF reports. So, let's get started. Alright, character creation, and the first thing you should know is that there are 3 character slots available when you first start the game, and there are 3 factions available for you to choose from. I also want to go ahead and point out that there is what I think the average gamer would look at and say, oh, those are servers. Actually, in this game, they're called dimensions, because the way the Secret World works is it doesn't actually operate on separate servers. Like if I, oh yeah, hey guy, I'm gonna roll on this such and such realm. It doesn't work that way. Everything is very dynamic. So these dimensions are really kind of just there to provide a bit of localization for people that are looking for something, or if you want to RP, right? Pretty obvious by the way they're named. Now, when you select your dimension, that becomes your home dimension. Then you go inside, you start playing. Let's say if you have a friend that's over in some crazy country that you can't spell, and he wants to team up to do something. Sure, no problem. You invite him, and then you have a little button that pops up that says meet up. You click on it, and then all of a sudden you guys will be playing together. And that's it's like basically magic. And pretty much everything in the game utilizes this cross-dimension type setup, so you can almost treat it as if you're dealing with just one single server. Now, while all this is part of the character creation process, let's actually talk about the actual process of creating your character. Now, things here are a little bit different than what we're probably used to if you've played pretty much any MMORPG out there. Usually what happens is you create a character and then you're really just choosing what the body type is and what your face looks like, what your hairstyle is, and then that's it. You get starter gear and all of that. In this game, it's a little bit different because all of the gear that you're wearing is pretty much cosmetic, which means in the character creator, you can go through and choose what kind of clothes you want to start out with. And you can go from anything from camel pants and a wife beater to being almost completely naked. It's all kinds of things you could do. I'm surprised, actually, it being Funcom, that you can't actually be naked. I guess they decided to draw the line somewhere this time. Now, once you're done playing around with the wardrobe, you jump to the other side and start playing around with the facial features and the makeup and the hair and all that stuff. You even can choose glasses if you want to. I think they all look terrible, but some people can pull it off, right? Just like real life, I suppose. One thing that is missing, though, is the ability to control your character's height and body type. That's not here. All the characters, same height, body type, period, and that's it. Following this is a series of cutscenes and tutorial areas where they basically show you how your character is developed, how you become part of whatever faction it is that you chose, and if you're lucky, you even get laid. You know, so there's a little bit of a different twist to every faction that's available. But it seems that no matter which path I take, I inevitably end up back at Kingsmouth, talking to pretty much the last of the cowboys guy here. So this is about the part where you start learning how to play your character, how to interact with the environment, how to do all kinds of crazy things, accept missions, crafting, all that stuff. But the first thing we should take a look at is the skills, because your skills and abilities is what we're gonna be using from here on out. That's how we get around, right? We're gonna be blowing things up, we're gonna be shooting them, we're gonna be doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Now, the skill wheel that you're looking at here houses some 500 something abilities. It is so ridiculous. I can't even wrap my brain around how many abilities that is. There's no classes. Notice in the character creation portion, I didn't talk about, oh, now that you've made your character, go ahead and pick a mage. No, that doesn't exist here. You build your character how you want to, and you put points into wherever you want, and so long as you're carrying the weapon or the item needed in order to cast those spells or shoot that type of ability, then you could do that. You could be pretty much anything you want to be. And while this may seem kind of daunting, you know, 500 plus abilities, how am I gonna actually organize these and whatever? Don't worry about it. Funcom actually built a system better than any other damn system I've seen in any other game ever. See, look at this. There is a search engine in here. You can sort it, you can filter it. Everything is here. You can unlock things. It's so well done that it pisses me off that nobody else has figured out how to do this. There are games where your character has 50 spells, and it is a cluster of skills and abilities, and you can't organize it for shit. It's like spell book, next page, next page, next page. Well, at least it's in alphabetical order. No, that. The Secret World, hands down, has one of the best skill organization systems ever, and thank God, because you know, if they had 500 abilities and no way to sort them, I'd have been chewing some ass right now. Now anyways, back to the cowboy guy. We walk away from him, and one of the first things I noticed that really kind of gets me off on the wrong foot is I have this quest that says jump on the car and then it'll sound the alarm, which is great. I could interact with the environment, and then the zombies will come running and then you kill the zombies. Okay, no problem. I do that, done. Then the next scene, it says, okay, this time I want you to blow up this gas can here. There's gonna be a little bit of a fire. Then you track the zombies, trail them through the fire, and then kill them while they're burning. Hey, that's great. The mobs interact with the environment that you triggered, right? So now it's PvE v zombie. Then I decided, you know, hey, I wonder if, since, you know, if I barely touch this car here, it sets off the alarm. I wonder if blowing up this gas can here will activate the car alarm, and it doesn't. And I don't understand why that is. Why can I set zombies on fire, but for some reason, the car with the ultra sensitive stupid alarm, like 2 feet away from it, does not react to the explosion that's happening on its ass. Now on that subject, the environment in the Secret World, as far as everything you see out in the world and everything, it looks like crap. No, I'm totally kidding. It looks amazing. Like, they did such a good job on just getting the detail down, making it look, thematically, it's just nailed. Every area that I've been in, every city that I've visited so far looks so damn good. It's too bad the character models, they kind of pale in comparison with the environment themselves. It almost feels like the characters come from like a different game. There's even some B-roll here that you might see that I play where I'm running around in first-person point of view. It's because I didn't want to look at my character. That's how bad they were. Now, the only exception to that is combat, and we should probably talk about that now. The animations are definitely not as good as the environment. Maybe we'll just put it that way. And that is the only time that I come out of first-person point of view, if I can help it, right? I don't have a hotkey to switch between the two, but third-person point of view, when you're looking at your animations, you're watching your characters swing an axe or swing or whatever it is that they're doing, it's very disjointed. Your legs and your torso are just completely separated, and you get this really strange, like, bending effect. Your character does things that real people just will not, they can't do unless it's like Cirque du Soleil or something like that, which I guess maybe every character in the Secret World is capable of doing, which is fine. I'll be down with that. That's part of the lore, but otherwise, the animations are bad. But there might be another reason for this. It could be that the mobs that you're fighting, there's no impact, there's no visceral combat feeling, right? When I throw a fireball at something, it doesn't quite feel like there's actual combat going on. It feels like I'm sliding all over the place, like on rollerblades or something like that, throwing stuff at whatever mob that I'm fighting. Maybe this can be resolved with adding maybe a louder effect or something whenever there's like a hit. I mean, if a fireball hits something, maybe, you know, have it give me like a thump or something, some kind of effect to make it feel as if I hit that guy with a giant fireball that I made out of thin air. Make it happen, and maybe I'll feel like I'm actually doing something. And to top it off, the mob AI and the way that it does pathing is just dumb. It just does not work at all. If you look at any other game, like a fantasy MMO, right? If you have a mob that's chasing you, and you could kite him for a little bit, you might be able to run around a rock or something, okay? No problem. The mob will probably find a shorter path and go back around the other side of the rock. But in a modern day environment, that does not work. Why? Because we have fences, we have light poles, we have cars, we have doors, we have patios. We have so much stuff that can break the path of a mob that it makes them look stupid. I'm sitting here jumping back and forth over this fence, just kiting mobs like it's no big deal, and I did this in their face when I was at the press event in GDC San Francisco this year. I was doing this while they were watching, and they thought I was gonna die, and I was like, no, I'm not. I'm just gonna exploit your AI pathing system. So to wrap this whole thing up, the PvE combat is just not good. It lacks impact, it lacks AI, it just is not good. But we still have a lot of stuff to talk about. We have questing, we have PvP, we have all that stuff that I have all bundled up into another episode that I'm still working on. So we're gonna have to wait for that one. Take it away, me. All right, so part 2 is gonna be out soon. I'm not gonna make you guys wait an entire week just release a second one, mainly because I have other stuff I have to work on, and also because I know you guys hate waiting for part 2. So today I think should be Thursday, Friday by the time I actually finish this thing up. So I hope to get the next one out by Tuesday at the latest, like midday Tuesday. So look out for that, and of course, check me out at aka Mike B on Twitter, Facebook, and all of that. And we'll see you guys next week.